Okay, sort of settled in a little bit now. So today I am on Peg 14 on Old Match Lake on the cost cutter. Today I decided not to get the pole out and I'm fishing a rod and line only. I'm set a little waggler, 2.5 AA waggler, to the in the gap, but this side of the gap where I've got about, what have I got there, 3.5, 4 foot, and then tight to the island with a little bomb and a method. Doing nothing clever today, just a few pellets, nice and simple. Decided not to fish the pole, so I thought I'd have a day off from the pole. 2 reasons. I've got the lake behind. I could have quite easily fished 16 metres to be honest, but I just wanted a day not fishing the pole. Everywhere I go I fish the pole. Going to be fishing the pole Sunday on Heron. So could have gone on there and had a practice, but it's pointless doing that when you're fishing on your own because you're going to catch a load of fish, whatever you do. So today it was just a case of doing something a little bit different. So it's just all pellets, 6mm, 4mm, some 2mm, got some 8mm in case, got a tin of corn in the bag if I need it. Supposed to hammer down with rain at the moment, we're looking good, let's hope it stays like it. Got a stitch to my left, got Gary Dennis is on 10, Stitches on 12, I'm on 14, and then Chris on 18, I'm not sure who's on the one next to me, Derek Newson, the legend Derek Newson on 2. So we've got 1 in, 2 in, 4, 5, 8, sorry, get this right, 9, 8, 7, 5, 3, 2 and 1. That's what we got in. 12:13 here for Tuesday. Not too bad since the weather forecast was terrible. Anyway, I'll sign off in a minute and I'll come back on when we start. Literally, I'm just going to be starting. Don't know how I'm going to start yet. We're going to start on a little method, or I'm going to put the waggler out. I can't decide yet. But we'll come to that in a minute. Bye for now. Hello, people. Well, hope you can hear me all right. Yeah, I decided to start 5 minutes early for some reason. We started early. It's quite funny, I don't know why. There we go. So we're 5 minutes early. So I'm going to start on a little 6mm pellet. In fact, no, I'm starting on a 4mm pellet. 4mm pellet on a method. I don't know whether this method, these pellets are mixed quite right at the moment. I might have to let them dry out a bit more. I might stick to the method a bit too much, I think. Oh no, that one's alright. Right, we're just going to have a little chuckle with that island. He says, getting it all tangled around his finger. That's the other thing, I've not fished a rod for friggin' ages. So I'm just going to line sink. And then in the rest, just needs lifting up a tad. That's it. If we get any liners, a little bit of a bend on that, but right. As Tommy would say, don't move the feeder. Move it right a little bit more that way, just and like that, bend on that, that's better. And we are going to just ping a few 4mm pellets. Got my marker, replaces the guy on the far bank. Well, there's a tree behind him, so but that's too far. I don't want to go that far, so I need to make them a little bit shorter. 4mm are flying out absolutely lovely, so we're just gonna, that's where we want it, just there. Don't want to be chucking it miles, just literally, that's going to be it. Don't put any more in than that for the minute. So we'll just see what happens. This little watch around, see who's doing what. As I say, it's been fishing pretty hard, so I've set up waggler. I'm going to fish a little bomb over there where I'm pinging a few pellets as well. I'm not doing anything clever today, little light bomb. I'm going to fish 4mm pellets on the hook. I've got the option of going in between the island if I want. At the moment I'm just going to come away from it a little bit. Slightly deeper water. And anything could happen today. It's been a bit mild last few days, so I'll be a little bit positive and fish a method. Sorry, just watching the guy on the far bank. Never seen him before. There we go. Sun's coming out. I have to go and get my sunnies out of the car. What do I fancy today? I fancy Peg 10, if I'm honest, and I fancy Val on Peg 9. Lot of room on 9. You've got a long edge right and left. Deepish water on your edges as well, so you've got always a chance of a few fish there. And then there's Baggy on 8. Good peg. And I think he's got one. Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? And I can see Baggy's got... Oh no, I thought we had one on already. I wouldn't put it past Bags. Anyway, I won't talk too long for the moment now. We've just started, so it's just a case of... I think the sun's come out now. I'm just seeing if that looks alright. Actually, it's quite pretty, doesn't it, with the sky in the background. So I shall probably sign off for a little while, because literally it's going to be a bit of a wait for anything happens, I think. Today I'm going to be very patient and not going to change things, so definitely going to sit on this for an hour today, whereas on Sunday on the Winter League 10 minutes out, do something else. I'm not doing that today, so it's going to be 20-minute chucks and just wait if you get any signs. So on this lake's a bit weird. Sometimes you'll get no sign at all and the tip will just go wrapping around. It's just like one comes in your peg, grabs it and swims out. So it'll be a little bit like that today. So I'll keep a little eye on the guy opposite on him, who's what we call the tea bag man. He'll definitely be fishing a tea bag. So he was fishing tea bag and maggots last time. He's won quite a few matches just fishing a tea bag. Not my game, don't, as I say, it's not the sort of thing that I do very often. So anyway, I've also got some dead red maggots which I didn't get out, which I will in a minute, because I might end up nipping off my band and just fish 2 or 3 dead maggots from the method. Might get a few more chance with a few skimmers doing that. You get the carp will still have it as well, so but we'll see. So on the method I haven't messed around, I'm on 0.20. On a straight lead I've gone much lighter, I've gone to an 0.14. Oh, there's a liner. Oh, there's a liner. So that's a sign we've had a liner, so there's a fish out there. Good sign, because last Sunday never had any of that. The fact that we're getting a bit of movement on the tip already. I know you can't see it. I need to perhaps get another camera set up so you can see what's going on. I just have to explain what's going on. So, as I say, just had a little tiny one of them. A little bit of movement. But just goes to show, might be something out there. I'm not going to move anything. Just going to leave it out there and just wait. Try and play the patient game today. And we'll pick a few more 4mm out there. And let's get a few more 4mm out of the bag actually. Just feel 4mm would be the way to go today. That'll do. I don't want to go much further than that. Keep that away from my Anyway, basically, we are now, what are we? Hour and confused because we start early. An hour and a half ish. Hour and a half ish in. I've not had a fish. Not had a bite. Not one liner. First put in, and since then I have not had a bite. Stitch has given up and started fishing for the roach or maggots. I haven't got any maggots, only got a dead maggot. Gary, I think's not caught a lot. Val's not had any more dobbing his bread. I think Baggy's had a couple of smaller fish. Then the guy on peg 5. Let me get my bearings right. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 6. He has had a few silvers. He was on a tea bag. He's given that up. Then the guy on 1, 2, 3, 4, peg 5 opposite me, he's had 6 or 7 little tiny, like 7, 8 ounce carp that were put in not that long ago. Right to my right, so I've won about £4, and then M Peg on peg 18, so I've won about £7. That is it. So I'm sitting there thinking, should I fish me pole now for skimmers? This can be quite a decent skimmer peg, this, to be fair. But I just thought, no, I'm not doing it today. I'm going to stick to my guns, so that's what I'm doing. Now out on the straight lead with a 4mm red pellet on. Nothing. Didn't even look like it's going to go around, if I'm completely honest. I've been out on the wag. As I say, I was on the wag for a little while. Nothing on that. Stitch is getting the odd roach and little skimmer, which I think is the way to go today, typical, but I made my mind up at the start, so simple as that. So yeah, nothing to report really, just I've gone tight to the island, I've come away from the island, I've gone down the middle. I'm now about to chuck it a little bit short again where I was feeding the waggler line. So much you can do. You just keep plopping it about. Seems silly, I know, a little red 4mm pellet, but sometimes when it's like this, that can just about. A little update again. 10 to 1. Still 2 hours to go. I've now had 1 skimmer and tiny F1. Little tiny skimmer on method, and then I've switched to a little cage feeder. I actually want a smaller cage feeder than the one I've got on, but it won't fit on the system that I've got set up, and I can't be bothered to change it all over now. So sitting there now on an open-ended feeder with 3 dead reds. I think pile pellets is just not right today, so I'm feeding another line now, slightly to my left, where I'm just going to try the waggler with some with just dead maggot on. Well, I sort of being lazy, got off my backside, set up IC, I think they're called ICM Preston, the small mini system, and little open-ended feeder. Mix up a bit of our bream multi-match. I'm just fishing slightly longer hook length, 16 hook, 2 or 3 dead red maggots. I'm only fishing an 012 on the tip. I've had 4 skimmers and a little F1. Not big, but I've gone from not getting a bite to scaling right down and just getting little dinks. So it's something. So I think it don't want to do any good at the end of the day, and it could be just the time of day. Lights changed a bit, winds changed a bit, Could be coincidence, but I think scaling down a little bit has made a difference. And when I was fishing just an 010 on my waggler with dead maggot on, never had a bite on that, but I've got no feed in the ground bait at all, so it's just a little tiny, well, I'll show you in a minute. So the boss is back, and he's back by the looks of it. Yes, anyway, so that's all I got to say really. Is I've gone from catching nothing to getting odd little dinks. Typically now I turn the camera on, I've not had one, but I've got a 10-inch hook length on, as opposed to a 12-inch hook length as opposed to an 8-inch hook length, and a little tiny, little dinky little rig really. But I just noticed a few little signs, a few little bit of movement of fish, like little pimps of skimmers and slightly bigger fish just showing themselves a little bit. So I'm going to have another go on the waggler in a minute. I've been pinging my waggler line. I've moved it to behind the island, so I've just been pinging a few 4mm there. Not a lot, just a few, and a little tiny ball of micros, so I'm just leaving that alone for, what's the time now? I'm going to leave that alone till 2 o'clock. I'll carry on this till 2, and then last hour I'll have a little go on the waggler again, but if this keeps going around I'll stick with it. This is the longest I've gone without having any signs on it, so I shall bring it in recast and I can show you the rig before I turn the camera off. Like I said, it could be just complete coincidence. Yeah, basically on this time my line was wrapped around the top of that feeder, which I might have to look at that, because basically it's just a little tiny ICM feeder, 3 dead maggots on the hook, and that's it. Don't know why that, I'll keep a little eye on that twist. I don't know why that's done that. I think it could be that my connector's a bit too big for this setup, so I'm going to change it, I think. But anyway, we just keep the tight line. In theory should be alright, but I'm not doing anything silly.